details. Let's smoke a tri-tip. Details. Hey everybody! Just getting all my channels synchronized, so bear with me. Hey everyone, so I'm going live on 3 channels at the same time. Let's see how this works. But first of all, I just want to say welcome everybody. Here I am. This is feel like my first real day that I feel like full-time grill girl, because I'm smoking a tri-tip in the middle of the day. Meat stir baiter. That's funny. I actually am developing some recipes for my friends over at Kingsford, and I went to go send them some stuff today, and I realized that I needed to smoke the tri-tip on pellets, not charcoal. So it gave me the opportunity to smoke a tri-tip today, so I know what we're having for dinner tonight. But I figured, hey girl, what's up, Nikki? So I figured this would be a great time to actually talk about tri-tip with you guys, because I feel like a lot of people haven't had as much experience with tri-tip because it's not as readily available on the East Coast, as well as I'm actually cooking on the new, for new to me, Green Mountain Grill's Daniel Boone Prime Plus. So you guys have probably seen me doing some videos, and that was on the old Prime, which had then turned into the Choice because they keep adding new stuff and changing things. So I wanted to actually, while I was doing this, give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek. Hey, what's up, Smoky Oak? Give y'all a sneak peek. This side over here might be seeing my butt more. Sorry about that, you guys. That could be a good or bad thing, depending on how you look at it. So while we're here, what's up, Maggie? I wanted to just share with y'all, I'm smoking a tri-tip today. So this recipe for my friends over at Kingsford, and it's pretty similar to one I have on my website already, is smoked tri-tip with a blue cheese basil butter. And if y'all follow me, you know that I love me some butter. I feel like butter and meat and compound butter and meat is like they're BFFs, you know, because it's like, let's take something moist and juicy as fuck, and then let's add some butter to it, and then let's add some blue cheese to it, because that just takes it to the next level. And then let's just add a glass of Pinot Noir to that, and then you have the perfect meal. So so that's what we're smoking today. The new GMG looks awesome. And before I get into the grill, let's just for 2 seconds talk about tri-tip, because I grew up on the East Coast. Y'all probably don't know this. I haven't always lived in Florida. I actually coast. I am actually surrounded by water on 3 sides here. But I grew up on the East Coast, and believe it or not, I was born in the same town as Elvis, but spent most of my time Mississippi, Texas. Those are my younger years. Then most of my older years in North Carolina, and then by way of Georgia, and then I've been in Florida, which is my real spirit animal state, for since 2007. So do the math there. So pretty long time. And I had never really come in contact with tri-tip until I really got into grilling and barbecue. And for those of y'all on the East Coast, you know that you just don't, we just don't see it as much over here. Having said that, I found this at my local meat market, which is awesome, because those guys are awesome. Lawhons here in North Fort Myers. So let's take a look at tri-tip. Now, why is it called a tri-tip? It's got 3 sides. It's like a triangle. It actually looks like Fort Myers. I call Fort Myers a triangle because anywhere you go, you have to drive into the damn triangle, because if you can't see behind me, but I have a river back here, and the way the river cuts into the land, it makes like the whole city like all along the banks of the river, which is a triangle. So this is actually, I thought I'd share with y'all, this is from my cookbook I wrote back in 2019. Look, you can see the tri-tip. A lot of butchers don't cut it because it cuts into the bottom and top. It cuts into the bottom sirloin and the flank right there. So a lot of butchers cut it a different way. But on the West Coast, tri-tip is really popular. Santa Maria style. They have their own seasoning and method on those cool grills with the cranks, which are so awesome. That's my next grill I want to add. And you can see it. It's a triangle, and it actually has like 2 grains of meat. So when you go to, or it actually has the grain kind of has a couple different places. So you need to, when you slice into it, be careful that you continue to cut against the grain. So what I've done today is I've just rubbed this with kosher salt and pepper. And another thing I've been doing, because I just think I love smoke too, because it's like a roast. You smoke the tri-tip and then you finish it hot and fast just to get a little bit of sear on the edge. But smoking it is the way to go, because it is like a roast, which is why I think the tri-tip is so awesome, because you can cook the ends of it to more well done for people in your family who don't like rare meat. And we can still be friends with people who don't like their meat medium or medium rare. That's okay. Like my mother-in-law wants to cook the shit out of her beef, and she'll get the end tip that's going to get cooked more. What's up, Patriotic Barbecue? Just a little pre-lunchtime smoke tri-tip break for everybody. Now that this is my real job. So let's back to this. So salt, pepper. Now I've been doing this thing, and you've probably seen this in some barbecue rubs that you see out there. I bought coconut, like the ground coconut. I can show it to you guys, and I sometimes put that in my rubs to give. Am I your dad, Nikki? I love how this vein pops out when I it's like this thing with me lately. I don't know. If I get Botox, will it make this vein not pop out of my forehead so much? Like, what's the deal? Anyway, so what was I talking about? So I've been buying, what is it called? Basically the coconut powder. It's black, and it adds this really nice color to steak, and I love it, because then when you slice into it, it doesn't really add any flavor. Usually when you see what do they call it? Carbonated charcoal. If I wasn't on the live stream, I would go get the jar and show it to you guys. I bought it on Amazon. But you've seen it in a lot of rubs, so it's nothing new. I ever tried to smoke it like a brisket? You mean, well, I am smoking it right now. It's just smaller, so it doesn't take as much time. But anyway, okay, so the coconut adds a nice black layer to the outside, which is pretty fun. So while I have the grill open, and I've already spilled my heat anyway, I'm doing 265, so I'm doing a little bit of a hotter smoke, because I'm sure I will get plenty of smoke flavor. And also I'm doing this to get good photos, and I want to have good light. So for me, I'm just trying, and the light's perfect today, even though it's middle of the day, because it's rainy. Because it's cloudy. So anyway, let's talk about the Green Mountain Grill Prime Plus for a second. So there's a lot of really awesome updates to this grill, and I've had a lot of different iterations of the Daniel Boone, and they really knocked it out of the park with this one, because and just changed a few things to tweak them to make them better. So this is the Prime Plus. You got a light now, which is nice to have when you're smoking stuff at night and you can't tell what you're looking at and it's dark. And the other thing is these now have a rotisserie attachment. So I don't have one in, but that's really cool, because you can do so much. Like, think about how much neat stuff you can put on a spit. So I was actually thinking about if I could find a small alligator, doing it on the rotisserie, because I get a lot of questions about alligator, and I would not by any means say I'm an expert alligator cooker. I mean, I've done it probably more than the average person has, and my husband has done a few alligator hunts where he brought it home, but he actually doesn't like it. So when I cook it, he's not really that excited about it. So, but I see a lot of interest in the market, people buying alligators to do like people would do for a pig roast, because it looks really, I'm just going to say it looks really fucking cool. Y'all, I curse a lot. That's me. I just can't help it. I like to add a little extra emphasis. So I think I'm going to do a rotisserie alligator. The only thing is, I think the smaller the alligator, there's not going to be as much meat. So I got to really think about realistically, what can I fit on the Boone, on the Daniel Boone? But I'm definitely giving it a thought, because I had this guy in Australia reach out to me, and he wanted tips on how to do a crocodile, because he wanted to build his own rotisserie over like a wood fire. And of course, I've never done crocodile because we have alligators here, crocodile or saltwater. We have freshwater alligators here, but I'm sure they probably taste pretty similar, being reptiles. And I do have a smoked alligator recipe on my website from one of my contributors, which is really badass. So if you ever want some tips on that, definitely check it out. So other things to think about, we've got your dual probes. One thing that was a major upgrade is that they used to have the plug. Oh, sorry, you guys. They used to have the plug in 2 different spots, or it was connecting in the middle instead of one long plug for the 12 volt. And that was annoying because if you're like me and I had the plug out here where my back door is, I was always tripping over it and then also turning the grill off. So that's definitely a major upgrade from the last version. A big one is that this table, yay, it flips down. Before it didn't, and now it does. And that's just makes it easier to roll around in your backyard when you want to fit it through the door in your screened-in porch, for example, or even when you go to put your cover on. So that's definitely a really big, that's a nice addition. And the other thing is, you guys will see Fremont Grill continues to come out with new attachments and stuff to do with the with their pellet smokers. So if you look on my various channels, you'll see I cooked a bunch of pizzas in their pizza oven attachment, which basically turns it into a pizza oven. It basically, you stick this attachment on that it is a pizza oven. It goes over the fire box. Actually, you pull the box out and it goes right over the auger and the fire pot, and really just gets it up super high heat so you can bake a pizza very quickly, which is very cool. And I went through that whole iteration on those videos, even on how to synchronize with your Wi-Fi and all of that good stuff. So what else with this? So the tables, the bottom here is slightly different. And I think there were a few minor tweaks on the inside, but a lot of it to me looks like usability, cosmetics. There's more ports. The button looks slightly different. Yeah, and I think things to think about if you're thinking about getting into pellet smoking is, your lifestyle. Pellet smoking is obviously easy. I always say that pellet smoking has been really a big part of why I think a lot of women have gotten into grilling. Hey, what's up, girlfriend? Because it really eliminates that whole need to have any fire management. When I first started GrillGirl, I started doing these classes specifically for women, just to evangelize grilling and demystify it. Because I was like, if I can do this, anybody can do it. It's so much fun. Let's hang out in my backyard, drink wine, and I'll teach you to grill. And less mess, less dishes than, imagine when you cook pasta, how many pots do you need to get used for that? So anyway, but a lot of women told me that what was holding them back from grilling was the actual fire, starting of the fire. And I can totally understand that, because when I first went to use what was now he's my husband, at the time he was my boyfriend, his grill, the electric starter was broken. And so when I finally got it to light, I had, of course, been, putting all this gas into the air, and I had this big flame ball effect, and I pretty much singed my eyebrows off. And so that was really kind of why I then bought him a new grill, and then wanted to use that grill all the time to get my money's worth, yada, yada, yada. GrillGirl's born. But so back to my story, I really think that's why pellet smokers are so great for getting more people into grilling, because they've, you get addicted to the smoke flavor they get and everything, but you don't really have to deal with the lighting of the fire and all that stuff. So I think it's a lot of people, their gateway grill, if you will. What's up, Barbecue Justice? And but I still think there's something really awesome about being able to play with charcoal and all different types of cooking over just a fire, like a campfire. So, but pellet smokers, if you're thinking of getting one, they are super darn easy, but they do require some maintenance. And that's the thing. It's if you're one of those people that is prone to just letting stuff on your porch just die or not get any maintenance, pellet smokers can be, they can be temperamental. They have a lot of moving parts. And I recommend, and I don't always follow this advice, because usually by the time I'm done grilling, I hear you, girl. But what was the point of my story? I got distracted. But anyway, so they do need some maintenance. It's a bad idea to always keep your pellets, to let your pellets hang out and get moist, because moisture is the enemy of pellets. I say this knowing this. I live in the world's most humid climate, and so I have had a lot of issues with my pellet smokers getting clogged and things like that, just because they're going to sit here and they're going to get moisture in them, and it's going to clog up your auger, and it's going to be a mess. And so it's just a really good idea to make sure that if you decide that you want to get a pellet smoker, and I totally think they're awesome, and they really are a great way to easily add smoke flavor to just about anything. But you also need to make sure that you implement just in a maintenance plan. After I use my pellet smoker, I want to make sure I do some vacuuming, or once it cools down, and especially if you're in a climate like me, make sure that you dump your pellets out afterwards and store them in a dry place, just so that you don't have to risk morning dew getting in there and just mucking everything up. And also, you don't want to kill your investment of pellets. So one thing that Green Mountain Grill has come out with that's actually really cool is a place that you can vacuum out. You can actually plug. You guys, I'm sorry, I have the tripod up. So you can actually plug. You can take your wet dry vac and put it down here, and they have a place to open it up so you can just suction out all the yuck and the dust and all that stuff. And that's just something that you should think about if you're thinking about getting a pellet smoker. I've had a lot, and I've worked with Green Mountain Grills for a long time, and they're really good people, and I love their company, and I like they are always adding new things and continuing to improve. And in life, we're all looking to continue to advance and improve and learn new things and all that good stuff. So I will come back and check in with you guys on this tri-tip. But what I'm going to do, sorry, it's the worst live streamer ever. What I'm going to do is I'll give you guys some updates. I know for the Insta, I'll try to get a meat slicing video. I'm still working on these meat slicing videos. That is the fuel that feeds the IG, at least in the grilling and barbecue space. And then I'll give you guys the behind the scene, or I'll give you guys a picture of that blue cheese basil butter, compound butter this is going to pair with. So thanks again for tuning in to my live stream, you guys. I'm going to refuel really quick. So just for your knowledge, Kingsford does make pellets now, which is kind of cool. And that's why I am remaking this recipe, because I originally took the photo on charcoal, because I did some other ones on charcoal, and I forgot that I was making this one on pellets, which I wanted to smoke it. The recipe is to smoke it anyway, which is, in my opinion, the best way to do tri-tip. So in a nutshell, I'm going to do this for probably I put it on at 10:30. I can't imagine more than 2 hours. And then, right before I get to temp, I'm going to look for 125 in the very middle. And I'm going to hit that medium rare, and then the other ends will be a little more cooked. And then I'm going to sear it. I'll crank this up and try to sear it, or I might just start up my big green egg and do my mini egg and just do a quick sear there. And then it's eating time. So thanks for tuning in, y'all. Good to see everybody. And I'm praying for all of my friends that are without power and that are in places that are cold. And I feel you. And I was supposed to do a barbecue weather report yesterday. And I will just say that the weather here is beautiful right now. And so for those of you that want to get on a plane, come visit. So, but it won't be this way in the summer. It'll be wet and gross and humid as flock. So, but anyway, you guys, does your Wi-Fi? I see another question. Does the Wi-Fi work? Yes, you have to futz with it. You have to get it on your router. Yay, technology problem. So, story of my life. But love y'all. Happy Wednesday. Let's make it an awesome day, an awesome week, sending positive vibes your way. And I saw this sign the other day that I thought was pretty pertinent for these times. It said, trust God verify others, or in God we trust, verify others. You know what? God's got it under control, everybody. So happy Wednesday, and I'll see y'all a little later. Expect more of these impromptu grilling sessions coming your way now that I am doing this full time. So adios, mi amigos.